Despite racking in millions of streams each month and having some massive hit songs, French Montana is one of the most hated people in hip hop today. From his over-reliance on featured artists to make any of his songs even recognizable, to his massive ego, which has caused him to claim that he has more hits than artists like Kendrick Lamar and Young Thug. French Montana has seemed to only become more hated as time has went on in his career, and most recently, any tiny drop of respect that people had left for him was just thrown out of the window as he just pulled one of the most insane career moves that any rapper has ever done. Now, as French Montana just dropped his brand new record Mac and Cheese 5, the way this album was marketed has turned out to be something quite unlike anything else we have ever seen before. Now, to promote this record, first off, French actually got the Empire State Building to light up in the colorway that we see on the album cover, which is already insane considering that even New York's finest rappers like Jay-Z and Nas have never gotten this type of treatment. But beyond this, French decided that getting promotion right on one of the most famous landmarks in the entire world wasn't enough, so he had to do something even crazier. Now, what French Montana did was not just release Mac and Cheese 5, but he released it again and again and again and again and again. And if these 6 versions of the album were not enough to get your attention on streaming services, don't worry, because French then went on to release every version of the album's 21 songs as singles, so they didn't just infect his streaming profile, but all of the rappers featured like Kanye West, Lil Wayne, and more, with this monstrosity of new tracks just sitting on their artist pages. And after doing all this, if there was ever any question about it, it's now undisputed that French Montana is the most pathetic rapper of all time. I don't know how you can do something like this and have no shame about it, because releasing all of these versions that give you over 100 new songs from your brand new album on day one just tells the world that you are more desperate than ever to get as many streams as possible so you can, of course, boost those first week numbers. Nobody in the world has ever said that they need an acapella French Montana album, because if there is one thing that's worse than hearing his music regularly, it's not being able to have the decent production to drown out his just brainless writing and annoying energy. The worst part about this all is that French Montana dropped a 126 song version of the album that runs for over 6 hours, and this should be illegal. It's absolutely insane that a rapper can just do something this pathetic and think that it's normal, even on an album that features superstars like Kanye, Lil Wayne, JID, Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Lil Baby, Westside Gunn, and more. French Montana really needed to do all of this to ensure that it sells? Is French Montana really at the point in his career where he doesn't trust that his ability to team up with names, including who has been the biggest artist of 2024 in Kanye West, not once but twice on the album, enough to make people interested? And if not, why is this? Why does a rapper who has music that's went diamond decide to release over 10 hours of recorded music within the same day? And when you try to find the answer, it only becomes more impossible to even look at French Montana as an artist who deserves any of your respect. Now, as hip-hop has entered into its new era, with each passing year, it seems like French Montana has had a harder time getting the same type of success that he used to have. Rap is no longer interested in the loud and overstimulating flashy club bangers that he once provided, and unless French gets a killer feature from Drake where he does something to catch headlines, there's really no other way for him to find the same success that he used to anymore. And while French would never admit this, he has definitely begun to notice it. French hasn't had a major hit in years, and alongside this, his declining reputation in the rap world has only caused him to do more overtly cringe things. His 2021 album, I Think They Got Amnesia, was made as a direct response to all of the hate he was getting at the time from people who believed that he was overrated and even trash, as he wanted to just prove to people that he was always a great artist and we were just sleeping on him. And what were the results of this? An album that was panned for being generic, boring, lifeless, and reliant on features for any of its most exciting moments, and with no hit songs coming from French on this record either. The criticism was getting to his head more than ever. Now, with French Montana, whether it's releasing an entire body of work based on all the negative attention you were getting from social media users, or these exploitative ways on trying to maximize streams for your new album, these embarrassing attempts at marketing and trying to boost your numbers have shown the public the worst thing about somebody who is famous and in a genre as competitive as hip-hop, which is that they are insecure. Being a millionaire, having powerful connections, and plaques to validate the success of your career is most for enough artists to feel like they have done a commendable job defining their legacy, yet for French Montana, he keeps coming back and back to the rap world, trying to be accepted and trying to look like one of the most popular artists in the game with each new attempt, and he is only becoming more criticized for doing this. By constantly seeking this type of acceptance, it really tells us that French himself believes that his success is not as earned as he wants it to be, and that deep down inside, he knows that while it may drive him crazy, you can't blame a single person for not being able to name 5 French Montana songs without features. When you look at French and all the hate he receives, it's very similar to the way people hate on DJ Khaled for really doing everything in rap besides giving people music that comes from a genuine place, and despite Khaled getting so much flack from fans. Unless it's an artist like Tyler the Creator who caused him to break down after his album Igor beat out Khaled's album Father of Assad for the #1 spot on the Billboard 200. You almost never see Khaled giving into all the criticism his fans give to him, and that is because no matter how insane it seems, DJ Khaled actually believes that he is some type of genius curator, and no matter how much you hate him, that his contributions to the rap world and his legacy are more than solidified. Now, I'm not saying that all the features and gimmicks Khaled has used to market his albums are not annoying, but compared to French Montana, even while Khaled has done such crazy things as selling nutritional supplements to get those first week numbers up, he has never flooded streaming services with a 6-hour album. So overall, looking at all of this and going back to Mac and Cheese 5, since French released everything from instrumental to slowed up versions of the album, the question we gotta ask is, was the album itself worth all of this? Was it really worth infecting streaming services with so much of your name and embarrassing your image by releasing 6 hours worth of French Montana music for the final installment in a series named after Mac and Cheese? Well, the answer is no. Did you seriously even think that I was gonna say yes? French really came with some of the most mediocre material I have heard all year, and while the record is not really bad, and the features and collabs between rappers like Wayne and Rick Ross and Kanye and Westside Gunn are actually pretty cool, I don't think there are any albums that are worth the hassle of releasing 6 entire times in one day. When you do something this dumb and this insane, it really makes the experience unlistenable despite any good traits that it has, but fortunately there's really nothing good about this record. So overall, as we look at the state of French Montana's career in 2024, it's clear that we are watching a man who's trying to hold on to any relevance that he has left before his albums stop charting, artists stop working with him, and overall, the world forgets about who French Montana is. While I don't know when, there will be a time in the near future where French Montana can't get away with pulling these same types of stunts to create excitement for his albums, and when this happens, because of the little genuine impact he has made on the hip-hop world, which deep down inside even he knows is true, nobody will know French Montana's name, because while it's easy to be remembered if you are the best or even the worst or most hated rappers in hip-hop, nobody ever remembers the most pathetic one. So let me know your thoughts on French Montana, his legacy, the current state of his dying career, and the absolute insane monstrosity that is Mac and Cheese 5 in the comments below. Now, if you think it's absolutely insane to release a 6-hour album, please hit that subscribe button. It is free to do and it helps me out a ton. Now, if you want to see my thoughts on how French Montana's collaborator Kanye West's new album Vultures just shook up hip-hop, check out the suggested video.